The deep space monitoring station near Saturn had been quiet for years. It floated in darkness, listening to the stars. Its job was simple: watch for signals, warnings, anything strange. Most of the time, it caught nothing but silence. But tonight was different. Inside the small control room, Officer Layla Benton stared at her screen. Her coffee had gone cold. Her eyes were heavy. Then, a red dot blinked on the edge of the monitor. She leaned forward. That can't be right. The signal was strong, pulsing, rhythmic, and worse, it wasn't natural. Jorge, she called out to her partner, who was asleep in the back. Get in here. Now. Jorge rubbed his eyes as he stepped inside. You're joking. Another old satellite? Layla shook her head slowly. This one isn't bouncing back our ping. It's broadcasting. Constant, repeating. Same 3 tones. He frowned and looked at the screen. It's not Earth-made, or any tech we know. Then the screen flickered. For 1 second only. They saw a strange symbol flash on the feed. It was circular, glowing, and pulsing with red light. And under it, one word appeared in English: hunt. Jorge whispered. Did it just talk to us? No, Layla said slowly. It warned us. Within hours, the message had reached Earth. World governments gathered in secret meetings. Scientists tried decoding the rest of the signal. But it was no use. The word hunt repeated in hundreds of languages, including many long extinct. Someone or something wanted to be understood. In the military base, hidden in the Rocky Mountains, General Marcus Reed slammed his fist on the table. How did it know our languages? Even dead ones? Dr. Kim, a linguistics expert, shook her head. It's not a message, it's a challenge. The room went cold. A week passed. Then the power went out across half of Asia. Entire defense satellites vanished. From orbit, no explosion. No trace, just gone. That night, in a village in eastern Russia, a child went missing. 2 days later, so did the search party. The government denied it, of course. They always do, but word spread. People talked. Rumors of shadows in the sky. Of strange creatures walking without sound. Of a red mark burned into the earth, shaped like the symbol from the signal. Meanwhile, in a quiet part of New Mexico, a man named Elias Cross was fixing his old truck. He was tall, quiet, with eyes that had seen too much. War. A scar ran across his temple. Retired Special Forces. The local sheriff drove by and stopped. You heard the news, Eli? Elias wiped the oil from his hands. About the signal? Yeah. They say it's just a satellite glitch, some computer junk. Elias chuckled. That's not a glitch, that's a hunt. The sheriff raised an eyebrow. You believe in that? Alien nonsense? Elias looked up at the night sky, his voice low. I've hunted men. I've been hunted too. That message wasn't a call. It was a warning. They're coming. Then what do we do? Elias gave a slow smile. Most people will run, but me. He threw his wrench down and stepped into his cabin. I only hunt once. Back at the space station, Layla and Jorge kept watching. The signal grew louder, closer. Then the unthinkable happened. Their radar showed nothing. All sensors were blind. The stars disappeared from view. And then, outside the window, they saw it. Not a ship. Not a fleet. A being. It stood as tall as the station itself, armored in dark metal and glowing red light. Its face was hidden behind a mask, but it had many arms, long, sharp, moving like they were alive. Layla couldn't breathe. Jorge, is that it? He didn't answer. He was already gone. In cities across Earth, chaos erupted. Entire squads of soldiers vanished mid-patrol. Civilians disappeared in crowds. One moment they were there. The next, nothing but red ash. Where they stood, people screamed. The sky showed no ships. No weapons. Only silence, only shadows. And everywhere, that word appeared, carved into walls, burnt into trees, glowing in screens. Hunt. In his cabin, Elias prepared. He strapped on old armor, packed his gear, loaded weapons long retired from official use. His dog, Duke, sat beside him, growling at the sky. "They want to hunt us?" Elias said quietly, "Fine, but not without a fight." As he stepped outside, a shape moved in the forest. Too fast. Too quiet. Elias didn't flinch. He lifted his rifle. "Come on then." A blur shot toward him. He fired once. The air rippled, and something hissed in pain. Elias smiled. "Thought so. You bleed too." Somewhere deep in orbit, inside a cloaked ship, the alien hunter stood over a map of Earth. Many red dots blinked, but one dot was green. A new voice in the dark whispered in the alien language. "One human fights back. Marked. Watched. Dangerous." The hunter made a slow motion with its hand. A mark glowed on Elias's cabin from space. The hunt was now personal. In a secret base. General Reed reviewed all recent attacks. Survivors gave the same description: tall creature, red light, silence. Before the strike. But one name kept coming up: Elias Cross. "We need to find him," the general said. "He may be the only one who's not afraid." That night, Elias walked into town. People stared. Word had spread. He had wounded something that couldn't be seen, couldn't be stopped. Someone asked him, "What is it?" "What do they want?" Elias looked calm. "It's not about want. It's about sport. They don't need to kill us. They just like to." The person stepped back. "So, can we win?" Elias nodded once. "If we stop running." He turned, and under the streetlight, everyone saw it. A fresh red mark had appeared on his chest. Glowing faintly. The alien had chosen him, and he had chosen it back. Conclusion. First signal was not an invitation. It was a dare. Now, Earth wasn't just defending itself. It was in the game. But someone had finally stepped up, not to run, but to hunt back. And as Elias whispered before fading into the night, "Run again? I only hunt once." A cold wind moved through the empty mountains of Colorado. Snow fell lightly on the small, quiet town of Red Ridge. People stayed indoors. The signal from space had shaken everyone. No one felt safe anymore, but Elias Cross was not hiding. He sat on the porch of an old diner, sipping black coffee. His rifle leaned against the wall next to him. His dog, Duke, rested at his feet. Locals passed by, giving him nervous glances. Some whispered. Others nodded with silent respect. The man had faced something that no one else could even see and lived. Inside the diner, the TV played news reports. 17 missing in 3 days, the anchor said, his voice shaky. No signs, no bodies, only red burn marks left behind. Elias didn't watch. He already knew. The hunt had begun. That night, a stranger entered town. He wore a black coat, boots covered in dust, and a scar across his neck. He walked straight toward the diner. Elias noticed him right away. "You're not from here," Elias said calmly. The man nodded. "Name's Keller. I work with the department." Elias raised an eyebrow. "Government?" Keller pulled out a small hologram. It showed footage, grainy but clear. The alien hunter standing over a burning car. Its armor dark, its arms too long. Eyes glowing red behind a metal mask. "We've seen this thing in 6 locations," Keller said. "Only you have survived a direct attack." "I heard it," Elias said. "That's why it marked me. We want to study your gear. Maybe use it." Elias shook his head. "This isn't about gear. It's about instinct." Keller leaned in. "Then what's it want?" Elias looked up at the stars. "It wants a challenge." That same night, 3 military drones flew over a forest near Red Ridge. They found heat signatures. At first, they thought it was wildlife. But then one drone went dark, then the second. The third drone streamed. 5 seconds of footage before cutting off. A blur. Red light. A tall figure moving faster than sound. And then black. The next day, a young girl named Ivy went missing from the edge of town. She had been walking her dog. The leash was found. The dog returned, shaking with fear, but Ivy was gone. People gathered at the church. They prayed. They cried. But no one spoke of what they feared. Elias stood near the edge of the crowd, his jaw tight. He turned to Keller. It's not random anymore. It's testing us. Testing how? Seeing how we react. Who runs, who freezes, who fights? Keller frowned. It's choosing its game pieces. At midnight, the town's power went out. Silence fell over Red Ridge. Elias stepped outside, flashlight in hand. Duke growled low. Something was watching them. From the woods, red eyes blinked once. Then the streetlights exploded. Screams echoed through the streets. Elias shouted, "Everyone!" Inside, locked doors. But one boy didn't listen. He froze near the church steps. The creature appeared behind him. Silent as a shadow, Elias raised his rifle and fired without thinking. The bullets sparked against invisible armor. The creature turned toward him. Its faceplate shifted and it smiled. Elias narrowed his eyes. "Yeah, that's right. You remember me." The creature leapt into the air and vanished. The boy was still alive, but barely. The next morning, Elias and Keller studied the scene. "Still no footprints," Keller muttered. "No energy trace. It's like it phases in and out of this world." Elias nodded. "That's how it hunts. Never seen, never heard. It wants us scared. Then how did you hurt it last time?" Elias looked down. "I didn't hesitate." Keller revealed a new plan. "We found something," he said. "Old alien wreckage, deep under Antarctica. We think it's from the same species. Might have tech we can use." Elias didn't trust governments, but he agreed to help. "We're out of time," he said. "It's not just picking victims anymore. It's setting rules." They flew to the Antarctic base the same day. The wind screamed across the ice. The cold bit deep. But the underground station was warm and full of scientists. Dr. Monroe greeted them. She wore glasses, a parka, and a sharp look. "We've studied this ruin for 5 years," she said. "But only now it's responding, since the signal." She led them to a sealed chamber. Inside was a large metal object, an alien beacon. Dark, smooth, pulsing slowly with red light. "It's alive," Monroe whispered as they watched. Symbols appeared on the surface. Elias stared at them. They changed into something Earth could read. "Level 1 begun. Running is failure. Keller." "Read aloud," voice tight. "It's not hunting individuals anymore. It's testing our species." Elias whispered, "The first game has begun." Suddenly, the base shook. Alarms rang. A voice came over the radio. "We've lost contact with northern teams." "Something's inside the base." Elias grabbed his weapon. "Get everyone to the main chamber, now." Doors slammed shut. Lights flickered. The beacon glowed brighter. Then, out of the shadows, it came. The alien hunter. It moved like smoke. Fast, silent, deadly. A soldier fired a stun gun. Nothing. Another. Pulled a flamethrower. The flames bounced off the creature's armor. Screams filled the halls. Elias moved fast, leading people toward the core chamber. The hunter followed. But slowly. It wasn't rushing. It was playing. In the final room, Elias and Keller found something strange. A second beacon, smaller. It was pulsing blue instead of red. Dr. Monroe gasped. "It's a countersignal, maybe a trap." Elias grabbed it. "What do we do?" "You have to get close enough," Monroe said. "Stick it on the creature." Elias nodded. "Draw it in. Make it think I'm running." Keller shouted, "You'll die." Elias smiled. "Not today." He stepped into the hallway alone. The red light came closer. The hunter appeared, blocking the exit. Elias backed away, slow, careful, pretending to fear. The hunter raised its arm. Elias whispered, "Now." He threw the blue beacon. It stuck to the alien's chest. A loud pulse exploded. The hunter screamed. Its armor cracked. Red lights blinked out, and then dash silenced. It fell. Dead? Or unconscious? They didn't know, but it was gone. Back. At the base, survivors gathered. Keller turned to Elias. "We did it." Elias shook his head. "No, that was just the first game." He pointed at the beacon. New words appeared. Level 2 unlocked. Fight or be erased. The room went cold. Keller whispered, "What have we started?" Elias turned away, loading his weapon. "We didn't start it," he said. "But we're not running anymore." Conclusion. The creature had come. The first game had begun, and for the first time, it had lost. But this was only the start. Because once a hunter is challenged, the real hunt begins. The world was no longer the same. Ever since the first hunter arrived, fear had spread faster than fire. Cities turned quiet. People disappeared without a sound. Governments failed to explain. News channels told lies or stayed silent, but not everyone. Some chose to fight. In a hidden bunker beneath the Nevada desert, a group of ex-soldiers gathered around a round steel table. They wore different uniforms, spoke different languages, but had one thing in common. They had survived an encounter with the alien hunter. One of them, a woman named Captain Maria Torres, tapped her finger on a red folder. "We're not waiting anymore," she said. "We're forming a response unit. We hunted back." The others looked uncertain. A young man named Ajay, once an Indian Air Force pilot, leaned forward. "It doesn't bleed like us. Doesn't move like us. We can't kill it." Maria stared at him. "Elias Cross wounded it. If he can hurt it, so can we." Elias was in the same bunker. He sat alone in the corner, sharpening a blade with slow, quiet strokes. His dog, Duke, lay nearby, alert and calm. A scientist named Dr. Lena Park approached him. "You're not joining their meeting?" "They talk too much," Elias replied without looking up. Dr. Park crossed her arms. "They look up to you. You were the first." Elias paused. "This isn't about me. It's about what's coming next." She lowered her voice. "Then tell me what is coming." He finally looked at her. More. That night, the base received a coded message. One word. Ready. It wasn't sent through satellites. It came through the old emergency radio waves, ones humans barely used anymore. Ajay stepped back from the screen. "It knows where we are." Maria nodded. "Then it's time to fight." The next morning, the team left in 3 armored trucks. Their mission: reach a small research outpost in Alaska. That's where the last attack was recorded. That's where they would set the trap. It was freezing cold. Snow blew sideways in the wind. The outpost was dark when they arrived. No power, no signals, no life. Maria stepped out first. "Stay sharp. Eyes everywhere." The team spread out, searching buildings. Ajay entered a lab and stopped. Cold. Blood. But not on the walls. It was in a perfect circle on the floor, like a symbol. And beside it, burned into steel, was the red alien mark. He radioed Maria. "I found the sign. It's close." Suddenly, the radio hissed. Static. And then a voice. But it wasn't human. One fight. One win. "Let's play." Ajay backed up fast. "It's here." The power cut out. Darkness swallowed the outpost. Screams echoed from one of the buildings. Gunfire. Then silence. Elias didn't wait. He ran straight toward the noise. Inside, he found 2 soldiers missing, and one still breathing, eyes wide in terror. "It came from the ceiling," the man gasped. "So fast. Like it danced." Elias helped him up. "Stick close. It's playing with us." Maria set up motion traps, thermal sensors. Drones in the air, nothing caught it. "It's toying with us," she said, waiting. Ajay stood beside her, gripping his weapon. "Then we stopped waiting too." That night, the team placed energy mines around the outpost. Traps designed from alien tech found at the Antarctic base. If the hunter stepped too close, the mines would release an EMP burst. They waited. Hours passed. Then, one light blinked. Red dot trap triggered. Everyone rushed outside. Smoke filled the air. The hunter stepped into view, tall, armored, its mask glowing red like fire. Maria shouted, "Now!" The mines exploded. Electric blue light blasted across the snow. The hunter screamed. Its staggered armor cracking, lights flickering. Ajay raised his rifle and fired directly at its chest. The bullets pushed it back, but it didn't fall. It turned and vanished into the trees. Elias stepped forward. "It's hurt, but not done." They tracked its blood, dark, thick, like oil, into the woods. The hunter left strange marks on trees, warnings, symbols. But then they found something unexpected. A second body. It wasn't human. Another alien, different shape. Blue skin, dead from a single clean strike to the chest. Maria stared. "Wait, it's not alone?" Dr. Park examined the body. Different species. Not the hunter. Maybe prey? Elias looked around, tense. "It's not just hunting humans. It's playing games with other species too." Suddenly, a sound echoed through the woods. Metal scraping metal. They turned. The hunter stood on a high rock, watching them. It didn't move, but its armor had changed parts. "We're missing new parts added," Ajay whispered. "It repaired itself." "No," Elias said. "It evolved." The hunter jumped down. This time, it didn't toy. It attacked. Fast. Deadly. One soldier screamed as a blade sliced through the air. Maria and Ajay opened fire. Elias moved close, swinging a charged blade into the creature's arm. Sparks flew. "It howled." Dr. Park activated a beacon, a short-range EMP spike. The blast stopped everything for 3 seconds. Just enough. Elias threw a tracking dart onto the alien's leg before it disappeared again. Breathing hard, Maria called out, "Status?" "2 down," Ajay said. "1 wounded." "We heard it again," Elias said. "That means something." Back at base, they followed the tracker's signal. The hunter was leaving Earth. Escaping? Or regrouping? Maria stood beside Elias at the war table. "We wounded it." "It ran." "That's a win," Elias nodded. "It'll come back." "But now it knows something," she said. "Humans fight back." Elias smiled, but it wasn't a happy smile. "We're not prey anymore." Conclusion: the hunter thought humans would be easy, but now it had learned. Some humans run, but others fight. And those who fight don't stop until the game ends, one way or another. Rain fell hard over a gray ocean as a massive black submarine surfaced near the Arctic Circle. No flags, no signs. Just numbers painted on its side. 731A. Hidden from the world. It belonged to no country anymore. Inside the cold steel walls of the submarine, lights flickered. Computers hummed. Scientists in white suits moved between sealed glass rooms. In one of them, a creature tall, armored, injured floated in a thick green liquid. The alien hunter. It wasn't dead. It was sedated. Barely. Dr. Soren Vex, head of Project Iceburn, stood outside the glass, arms crossed. His face showed no fear, only obsession. A young assistant named Lien watched with wide eyes. "We're really doing this?" she asked softly. Dr. Vex didn't look away from the tank. "It came to study us. Now we study it." 3 days earlier, a special team had recovered the creature after a deep forest battle. Its body was failing. Its armor cracked, yet it still moved, still tried to fight. Only after 3 EMP bursts did it fall unconscious. The government gave Vex full control. No rules, no ethics. Just one order: learn everything. Find a weakness. But Vex had bigger plans. He didn't just want to study the alien. He wanted to control it. Inside a sealed lab, machines scanned every inch of the hunter's body. Its organs shifted. Its bones weren't solid. They flexed like living metal. Wires entered its skull, reading brainwaves, and then something strange happened. A spike. The hunter's mind activated, though its eyes remained closed. Vex stared at the monitor. "It's dreaming," he whispered. "Can we see it?" Leon asked. "Not yet, but it's responding." "To what?" Vex smiled. "To fear. It smells it even when asleep." Down in another chamber, cages lined the walls. Inside them, test subjects. Not humans, but other alien species, captured during the chaos. Some had been hunted. Others had fled to Earth. One creature, small and blue, sat curled in a corner, whispering in its language. Another, insect-like, scratched strange symbols into the metal floor. Leon frowned. "What are they for?" Vex answered without emotion. "Bait, triggers. We'll see what makes it wake up. But they're not dangerous. That's the point. If the hunter attacks them even in sleep, we learn its instinct." She turned away, disgusted. "This isn't science, it's a trap." Vex replied coldly, "Exactly." Later that night, alarms blared. Glass shattered. The lab lights turned red. Leon rushed to the main chamber. Her heart pounded. The hunter's tank was empty. "No," she whispered. "How?" Vex stood near a control panel, hands shaking. "It wasn't asleep. It let us think it was." A sound echoed behind them, metal scraping. Then the lights went out. In the dark, the hunter moved. Like a ghost. Faster than before. Stronger. But something was different. It didn't kill right. Away. It watched. One guard aimed a gun and fired. The bullet bounced off. The hunter raised one long arm, pointing at the man. Then it walked past. Didn't touch him. Guard dropped his weapon, confused and shaking. Leon watched from a security monitor. Why didn't it strike? Vex stared at the screen. "It's running a test on us." Deeper in the sub, the hunter entered the alien holding cell. The blue creature shrieked. The others hid in corners. But again, the hunter didn't attack. Instead, it traced a mark on the wall, one symbol, then it turned and looked directly at the camera. Vex leaned forward. "It's showing us something." "What does the symbol mean?" Leon asked. Vex didn't answer. His face had gone pale. He whispered, "It means failure." Seconds later, the submarine shook violently from outside. Something had locked onto them. Leon gasped. "Another ship?" "Not a ship," Vex muttered. "A test chamber." The ocean outside began to glow. Beams of red light struck the sub. Hull groaned. "Emergency dive," shouted one crewman. "We're not alone." But it was too late. Everything stopped. Screens froze. Time itself felt slower. And then the hunter spoke. Not in words. In thought. Inside every mind. "You became the experiment." Leon dropped to her knees. "It was never hunting for sport." She whispered, "It was measuring us, to see if we deserved to survive." In the control room, Vex tried to fight back. He activated a neural spike meant to kill the alien remotely. The hunter didn't even flinch. Instead, a pulse of red energy flowed from its body. The machine sparked. Screens melted. The spike backfired straight into Vex's brain. He fell, eyes wide, lifeless. The hunter stepped over him without interest. Leon stood alone. Now. The sub was sinking. Water flooded the lower decks. But the hunter walked calmly through the chaos, ignoring fire and metal. It reached Leon, who stood frozen. She whispered, "Are you going to kill me?" The hunter tilted its head. Then pointed at the alien cells. One word formed in her mind: wrong. Then it was gone, vanished like smoke. A hole tore open in the sub's roof. A flash of light. And it was taken. Not by humans, but by something higher. The submarine was later found silent, broken, resting at the bottom of the sea. Leon was the only survivor. Rescue teams didn't believe her at first. But when they checked the recordings, they found one thing untouched by the blackout: a symbol burned into the wall. Not red dot, blue dot. It translated to one sentence. You were the test. Conclusion. Humans thought they were capturing a monster, but the real monster was watching them. The hunter wasn't just a killer. It was a judge. Earth had just passed its first test. Barely, but more were coming. Because now, the experiment was over, and the real trial was about to begin. The night sky was quiet. Stars shimmered over a ruined forest in northern Canada. No birds, no animals. Just broken trees and scorched earth. It had been 2 weeks since the incident with the hunter. Leanne stood alone, her breath clouding. In the cold air. Her hands trembled, not from the chill, but from memories. The submarine, the alien. The voice in her head, you were the test. She hadn't slept properly since. Now she had come to the last known place the hunter was seen before being taken. But Leanne didn't believe it was gone. Something was still watching. She walked deeper into the trees. The government had sealed off the area, but she used her clearance to come back. She needed answers. Not from humans. From it. Suddenly, a whisper echoed through the trees. Not a sound, a thought. You returned. Leanne froze. Where are you? She asked out loud. No answer, but she felt it, a presence. Behind her, she turned and saw it. The hunter stood still, half shadowed in the mist, taller than any man, skin like flexible armor. Its glowing red eyes studied her. It didn't raise a weapon. It didn't move. She spoke softly. You spared me. Why? It tilted its head. Then she felt it again inside her mind. You asked a question. That is rare. Leanne didn't run. She stood tall, though her legs wanted to give out. What are you? She asked. The hunter stepped closer, slowly. Carefully. Then it answered, through her mind again. We are what comes after war. We do not begin it, we finish it. We measure worth. She narrowed her eyes. You mean, judge? Yes. But why Earth? The hunter paused. Then she saw something. Not a vision. A memory. Not hers. Its. She saw galaxies burning. Planets cracked open like eggs. Civilizations screaming. And in the center humans. But not as she knew them. These were future versions, more advanced, more dangerous. Humans who didn't just defend. They conquered. The vision ended. Leanne gasped, knees hitting the cold ground. That's US? She whispered. That's what we'll become. The hunter replied, potential. Your kind is unpredictable, capable of creation and destruction. Curiosity. And cruelty. So you came to stop us? To understand, to decide, to warn. She looked up. So which is it? Are we good or bad? The hunter was silent. Then it moved closer. And she didn't flinch. It reached out, its hand covered in armored plates, and touched her forehead gently. Another memory. This time, her life, her helping hands, her fear, her courage, her choice. Not to run. It pulled back. You were enough to delay judgment, but not erase it. Suddenly, the trees around them glowed. Small silver orbs floated in the air. Watchers. Drones. Not from Earth. From the hunter's people. A countdown began inside her head. 10, 9, 8. What is that? She shouted. The test continues, but you must choose. Choose what? Tell them the truth. Or lie, save them. Or prepare them. The countdown stopped at 3. The hunter stepped back and vanished. Back at the research base, the world governments demanded answers. They had seen the satellites, seen the flashes of light in the forest. They wanted to know if the alien had returned. Leanne stood before a room full of generals and scientists. One of them asked, "Did it speak to you again?" She stayed quiet, then nodded. Double quotes, yes. What did it say? She looked around. They wouldn't believe her. Not fully. So she chose her words carefully. It said Earth isn't safe, but not from them, from us. Murmurs rose. A general leaned forward. Explain. Leanne breathed deeply. We're being watched, judged. They saw what we might become. It's not about war. It's about choice. After that, the world changed. Some laughed off her warning. Others took it seriously. Small groups began preparing training to protect, not destroy. Some tried to weaponize the knowledge, but Leon knew something they didn't. It was still watching. The next test would be harder, because next time, it might not be her who stood before them. Conclusion: the hunter was never the threat. It was the mirror. It came to show humanity its future. And in the reflection, there was still time to change. But not much. The world had changed. Fear had turned to determination. The alien hunter's visit wasn't just a warning, it was a challenge. And now, Earth was ready to answer. In a secret underground command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, General Marcus Reed stood before a large holographic map of the solar system. Satellites and star charts flickered in the dim light. Around him, top scientists and military leaders waited. "We have one chance," Reed said. "We know the hunter's weaknesses. We have alien tech from Antarctica. It's time to strike back." Dr. Lena Park, now leading the research team, stepped forward. "The hunter's armor is powered by a unique energy source. We've built a prototype weapon that can disrupt it. But it needs to be delivered up close." Reed nodded. "Who will lead the mission?" The room fell silent. Far away, Elias Cross stood on a cliff overlooking a stormy sea. Duke, his loyal dog, was by his side. He lit a cigarette and took a long drag. A voice came through his cum. "Elias, General Reed here." "We need you." Elias crushed the cigarette. "You know I don't do missions anymore." Reed's voice was firm. "This isn't just a mission. It's a chance to end the hunt. Are you in or out?" Elias looked at the dark horizon. "I'm in." The plan was simple but dangerous. A stealth ship would approach the hunter's homeworld, a hidden base on a distant asteroid. Elias and a small team would infiltrate it, plant the weapon, destroy the energy core. End the hunt. Days later, aboard the sleek black ship, Elias checked his gear. Captain Maria Torres sat across from him. "We don't know what to expect inside," she said. "Last time, it evolved fast." Elias nodded. "We have to be faster." The ship dropped out of warp near the asteroid. Outside, huge structures loomed, dark towers that pierced the void. Maria activated the external cameras. No movement detected. Too quiet. Elias tightened his grip on his rifle. That's when it's most dangerous. Inside the asteroid, the air was thin and cold. The team moved carefully through winding tunnels. Walls hummed with strange energy. Suddenly, a loud clang echoed. Maria signaled to stop. From the shadows, dozens of small drones appeared. They swarmed like angry hornets. "Ambush!" Elias shouted. Bullets flew. The drones exploded one by one under heavy fire, but more appeared. Elias ducked behind a pillar. "We have to find the core." Maria yelled. They pushed forward, deeper into the maze. At last, they reached a large chamber. In the center stood a glowing orb, the energy core. It pulsed with red light. Elias approached, pulling the prototype weapon from his pack. Suddenly, the hunter appeared faster than light. Its eyes burned bright. "You've come," it said. Voice cold. Elias didn't answer. He raised the weapon. The hunter lunged. Metal clashed with metal. Elias fired the weapon. A wave of blue energy crashed over the hunter. Its armor sparked and broke. It roared in pain, but it fought back fiercely. The battle was brutal, steel against steel, man against machine. Maria threw a grenade, stunning the drones around them. "Now, Elias!" she shouted. Elias sprinted toward the core and attached the device. "Get ready to move," he yelled. The core began to overload. Alarms blared. The hunter, wounded but furious, charged. Elias fired one last shot. The hunter fell. The energy core exploded in a brilliant flash. The ship shook violently. "Retreat!" Maria ordered. The team ran through collapsing tunnels. Outside, the asteroid began to break apart. They made it back to the ship just in time. As they escaped, Elias looked back. The hunter's home was gone. Back on Earth, the news spread fast. The hunt was over. General Reed addressed the world. Today, humanity showed what it means to fight back. We struck first, and we struck hard. Elias lit another cigarette. Maria smiled. You really only hunt once, huh? He shrugged. Sometimes one hunt is enough. Conclusion. The hunter came to judge humanity. It found warriors. And when Earth struck back, the galaxy learned not to underestimate humans. The stars were quiet again. The asteroid base was gone. The hunter had fallen. Earth celebrated its victory, thinking the war was over. It WASN single quotes to deep in space, far beyond the known galaxy. Something stirred. In a black, silent chamber, another figure awoke, taller, stronger, faster. The failed hunter had been just one of many. A test, a first scout. This one was not here to study. It was here to end. On Earth, Elias Cross sat alone in a dim cafe near the outskirts of New Boston. He sipped bitter coffee and stared at the screen. Above the counter, news reporters praised the heroic mission. His name was mentioned. Again, he hated it. Maria walked in, brushed snow off her jacket, and sat across from him. You look like hell. I sleep better during a firefight, Elias said. Maria chuckled, then leaned closer. We intercepted a signal. Elias raised an eyebrow. From who? Not from Earth. It's the same signature as the hunters. Tech only stronger. Elias didn't speak. Maria slid a datapad across the table. They're coming. And they're sending more than just one this time. At the Global Defense Command, alarms rang. Dr. Lena Park stood in front of a massive digital screen, her face pale. This isn't another hunter, she told the room of military leaders. It's a fleet, and something different is leading them. Reed stood silently beside her. We need Elias. The stealth ship landed outside Elias's cabin 2 hours later. He didn't wait to be asked. Suits in the shed, he said. Let's go. Above Earth, in low orbit, a new object appeared. Small, fast, and silent. It crashed into a desert outpost without warning. The response team sent drones to investigate. They never came back. Elias, Maria, and Dr. Park arrived by chopper hours later. The sand was scorched. The buildings were gone. No bodies. Just black ash and melted walls. This wasn't a bomb, Maria whispered. It consumed everything. Park's scanner beeped wildly. Something's still here. A shape darted. Through the smoke, tall humanoid, metallic. But this time, its armor was sleek, shifting like liquid. It didn't run. It stood in front of them. And smiled. You killed one, it said. Now you face the hive. Elias fired. The bullet struck its head, but the armor absorbed it. The creature moved like wind. 1 second. It was 20 meters away. Next, it stood right in front of Elias. He barely dodged. Maria pulled Elias back. We need a new plan. Park threw a capsule that exploded into thick smoke, buying them seconds. They ran to the chopper. The creature didn't chase. It simply watched and laughed. Back at command. The mood was grim. We thought the first hunter was advanced, Park said. This one's worse. It's part of something bigger. A hive? Reed asked. Yes, she replied. A shared intelligence. Kill one, and another learns. Elias leaned over the table. So if we fight it, we train it? Park nodded. Exactly. The plan was risky. Elias and Maria would lure the creature to the Arctic Circle, a dead zone for tech and communication. There, a powerful EMP trap had been prepared. One strike could fry even alien systems. They waited for the creature to appear, but it didn't single quotes do that instead. It attacked a research ship in the Pacific, disabling it in minutes. Then a mining colony on Mars went dark. Then the moon base. All without Warning. The hive was learning. Fast. It's not hunting anymore, Maria said. It's spreading. Like a virus, Park added. Reed slammed his fist on the table. Then we burn it out. All of it. But where do we strike? Maria asked. Elias stared at a red blinking dot on the map. One, the others missed. He whispered. It's building a nest. Beneath the ocean floor, in the Mariana Trench, something unnatural was growing. A biometal structure. Shifting. Expanding. A gateway. The hive was calling more. If they didn't act now, Earth would fall. Elias geared up. Maria loaded explosives. Park stayed behind to guide them. They dove deep in a stealth. Sub-black water swallowing the light. At 11,000 meters. They saw it. An enormous tower of alien metal. Alive. Waiting. They entered through a narrow passage. Inside, the walls pulsed like veins. We don't have long, Maria said. They placed the charges, but then the creature appeared again. This time, it wasn't alone. 4 more stepped from the shadows. Silent. Deadly. Smiling. Elias stepped forward. I thought you hunted alone, he said. The lead creature tilted its head. We never hunt alone. Then they attacked. The fight was brutal. Blades clashed. Bullets flew. Blood spilled. Maria was wounded. Elias dragged her behind cover. He looked at the detonator. I have to stay. Maria grabbed his arm. No, there's always another way. Elias shook his head. Not this time. He ran, explosives blinking. He lured the creatures into the chamber, then smiled. This hunt ends with me. The ocean trembled. Above the waves, a massive column of water rose. Then silence. The nest was gone. Later, at the memorial, Maria stood with Reed and Park. A small statue of Elias stood nearby, overlooking the sea. He stopped the hive, Reed said. Park nodded. But for how long? Maria didn't speak. She just looked at the sky, because in the darkness, between stars. Something else was watching, and it had just learned Earth's name. Conclusion. The hunter was only the beginning, and though one man gave everything to stop the spread, the galaxy was still full of shadows, because in truth. The hunt never ends. The galaxy had quieted, but it was not peace. It was fear. The hive was destroyed, the ocean nest gone. Elias Cross, the man who gave everything to stop them, was now a legend. But legends don't stop war. They only delay it. Far from Earth, deep in uncharted space, a council gathered. Alien leaders from 100 worlds sat in silence. A giant screen showed the final moments of the hive explosions, tearing through metal and fire, swallowing everything. He smiled. One alien whispered, "Yes." Another agreed, watching Elias's final moment before he triggered the explosion. He smiled when he died. A chill moved through the room. Humans smile before destruction. The oldest one, a creature made of crystal and light, spoke softly. We must never face them again. But it was already too late. Back on Earth, Maria stood at Elias's grave. The wind was calm. The sea was quiet. But her heart was heavy. She turned when she heard footsteps. Dr. Lena Park approached, her face pale. They found something, Park said. Maria frowned. What now? A signal, Park said. It's not from the hive. It's older. Much older. Maria's eyes narrowed. Older than the hive? Park nodded. It knew the hive had created them. The signal came from a dead system, a black sun and broken planets. A place where nothing should live. Earth sent one ship, the Resolve. Small, silent, loaded with stealth tech and an elite team. Maria and Park were on board. As they reached the edge of the dead system, the ship shook. Lights flickered, and a voice, cold, calm, and full of power, filled the ship's speakers. You smile at the end. I want to understand why. The crew stared at each other. Was that English? The captain whispered. Maria looked at Park. It learned our language. Park's face turned pale. No, it learned him. The ship drifted toward a massive structure, black round, floating between two ruined planets. It was not metal, not stone. It was alive. This place is a mind, Park said. We're inside something's memory. The voice spoke again. Elias smiled, even when alone, even when afraid. Why? Maria's hands trembled. He smiled because he chose to. Chose? Yes, Maria said. Humans choose how they face death, even if they lose, even if it hurts. That's our power. The silence stretched for a long time. Then the voice laughed. It was not a kind laugh. It was cold. Then let me test this choice. I will bring war again, to see more smiles. Suddenly, the black structure began to shift. It opened. From the darkness, thousands of shapes began to move. Not ships, not drones, creatures, each one made from broken parts of other species. Machines fused with living tissue. All of them heading straight toward Earth. Maria ran to the controls. We need to warn command. No signals going out, Park shouted. It's jamming us. The captain turned to them. We have one option: get closer and send a tight beam burst. But we only get one shot. They flew deeper into the structure. The light outside turned red. The creatures began to swarm. One hit the hull, then another. And another. The ship shook violently. Hull breach. Fire. Screams. But the signal sent. Back on Earth. Global Defense Command. Received the burst. Park's voice came through, broken but clear. The hive wasn't the top. Something else older, worse is coming. It watched destroy the others. Now it wants to see more, not to win, but to watch how we lose. It wants our smile to be the last. Panic spread. Governments collapsed. Others prepared. New weapons were rushed, but everyone knew this war would be different. Not for land, not for power, but for meaning. And then the sky opened. Black stars appeared. The new enemy didn't fire. They simply watched. Voice echoed across the planet. Show me. Will you smile again? They landed. Not with bombs, but with challenge. Each human team that fought them was met by something built just for them. Their fears, their regrets, their memories. It wasn't just war. It was personal. Maria led a team into the wreckage of old New Tokyo, now turned into a battlefield. As they moved, a child's voice called her name. She turned and saw her brother, but he died 5 years ago. Maria froze. Then fire erupted around them. Her team screamed. It's illusions, she yelled. They use our minds against us. Every soldier fought their own nightmares, one by one. Earth's forces were pushed back. Until only one bunker remained under Greenland. Inside, Park worked furiously on a final weapon, something Elias once designed but never finished. It's not a bomb, she told Maria. It's a mirror. A mirror? Maria asked. It shows them what they really are. The enemy broke through. Maria stood in front of them. She had no weapon, only the device, and a smile. The lead creature paused. You smile, again? Maria nodded. Yes, because I know something you don't. What is that? She pressed the button. The light burst out. The creature screamed and vanished. All around the world, the same happened, one by one. They disappeared, shattered by the truth, because the device showed them what they had become. Reflections of pain, creatures without purpose, born only to destroy meaning. And in the face of a human smile they ended. Silence returned to the stars. No sound. No threat. Only peace. Park sat beside Maria in the ruined bunker. It worked, Park said. Maria didn't reply. She just looked up. And smiled. Because sometimes it's not strength that ends a war. It's hope, a human smile. That ended worlds.